Combination of rhythmic casting and tremendous patience make fly fishing practically an art form. Today's rods are specially engineered angling tools to snag everything from trout to salmon, but the art of rod craftsmanship was created hundreds of years ago.
Utilizing a slow, deliberate process, one Ankeny retiree has reminded anglers that a combination of bamboo and craftsmanship may be the best way to cast a line.
Back on the farm, on the back 40 in the pond, I took up fly fishing. And then later in life, I read a book on building split bamboo fly rods. I combined the building the rods with the fly fishing, and it's just been a great activity, has kept my attention for many, many years. The first rod I built, it took maybe 80 hours. I'm not sure, but to keep a good price, you have to keep down the number of hours. And I got it down now to, I think, about 10 hours.
Steve Pennington is part of an exclusive club, as he estimates there are fewer than 30 manufacturers still building split bamboo fly rods. Beyond the time it requires to assemble a bamboo rod, it's not easily converted to a machine process. Whereas graphite and carbon fiber rods can be made on an assembly line, split bamboo must be done by hand. But that hasn't hurt fishermen's desires to fish with bamboo.
A lot of fishermen, even though they have several graphite rods, they will want a split bamboo in their collection just because it's handcrafted from natural materials. They've been built with split bamboo for over 100 years now. They are valuable as a collectible.
But beyond nostalgia, they are also practical. Bamboo is one of the strongest natural fibers on the planet. Learning to work with it is an eye-opening experience.
If someone would want this as a hobby, the good thing is that the depth of the hobby never ends. Building a rod from split bamboo, building the reel seats is almost like making jewelry. You can just get into all kind of other fields in this hobby.
Of course, before you cast your first line, you'll need to work with the raw materials, starting with a piece of bamboo.
This is just as it is cut from the patch. We're going to split it. It splits very easily in the long direction. It's very strong across the grain.
Steve continues splitting until the bamboo is reduced to strips roughly the width of a pencil. These strips will ultimately form the finished rod, but first, they must be molded into casting form through planing.
The next step from the bamboo stick, they're rectangular. We're going to change that so that it's a triangular cross section. This is a hand process. Take a couple strokes, turn it over, a couple more. Get the same number of strokes on each side, and that keeps it as an equilateral triangle.
It's at this stage that the casting quality of the rod is determined. With each stroke of the hand plane, the bamboo strips get tapered down more and more, leaving the outside edge of the strip rounded.
Keep turning and planing. We got a lot of shavings and a completed strip.
Splitting and planing the bamboo are easily the most time-consuming, labor-intensive, and important part of the rod building process. If the planer's work is off by even 1/1000th of an inch, the rod weight will be uneven and cast poorly.
And once we get 6 of them planed, we're going to apply glue to those surfaces. We're going to roll it up into a 6-sided fly rod. We're going to bind that with string until the glue dries. This is one that where the glue has dried. We'll take the string off. We will scrape off, and it scrapes off really very easily.
Bamboo naturally has a very textured and rough surface, so after scraping, Steve smooths it out further with steel wool and sandpaper, leaving a shining fly rod ready for assembly.
From there, we have the blanks. We attach the ferrules, which allows the rod to be taken down into 2 pieces for transport. We put on the reel seat, we put on the cork handle, we attach the line guides by winding on with thread to hold them on. We apply a varnish over the wraps and over the rod itself, and then we make a tube and a bag, and that's the process.
Of course, fishing poles are meant to be used, as are fly rods like Steve's. Since retiring over 10 years ago, Steve believes he's crafted more than 1,000 split bamboo fly rods, and thanks to the internet, they've been sold all over the country and world. However, to truly gauge their quality, we need to look no further than his hometown of Ankeny.
I couldn't ask for anything better. It's a good quality rod. And not only do I have one, but I have 3 of them.
Larry Murphy is an avid fisherman, owning a slew of carbon, graphite, and bamboo fly rods. He routinely reaches for his bamboo rod to cast his line.
Fly fishing is my passion. And when you use good equipment like this, it's wonderful.
Besides seeing firsthand the care Steve puts into his fly rods, Larry's affinity for bamboo comes from its light handling and ease of use.
It's pretty forgiving when you're casting with a bamboo rod. So it's a good rod for beginners to use. And the craftsmanship is wonderful.
Today, fishermen from Alaska to Switzerland are enjoying Steve's split bamboo craftsmanship. And while he's pleased with the success his rods have found, his favorite part is still getting out in the water and hooking a fish.